Comcast. Johnson. F***ing Danny Elfman? Man, this is like seeing Robert De Niro in Rocky and Bullwinkle. It required 3 editors to do this shit.
I gave her the recorder, right?
Total yeah right moment here, as this girl doesn't look nearly sick enough to stay home from meeting prize interview Christian Grey, pawning it off on the movie's protagonist. Amazing parking can be had in downtown Seattle during peak business hours. I realize you want to visually emphasize her awe at how out of her element she is, but she literally just walked away from a car without feeding the meter, so that shit's getting towed. Whoa, what's that? I've never heard an elevator make noise before. Johnson! Inkblot panda art diminishes the importance of both pandas and the greater inkblot painting movement as a whole. Whirlwind of super hot receptionist keeps her from telling the truth about her identity, so that the reveal will occur extra awkwardly during her meeting with Mr. Grey. Receptionist assistant supermodel makes this girl open the huge heavy office door by herself. And naturally it gives her an opportunity to be awkward and clumsy in front of the super suave business guy.
I'm Anastasia Steele.
So his name is Grey and her name is Steele, and I'm supposed to take any of this shit seriously? Meet his previous lovers, Tracy Chrome and Vicky Tungsten. 5 pencils of Grey.
To what do I owe my success? Seriously?
Yeah, the question is lame, but Christian Grey is being such a dicktard about it to the replacement interviewer reading a college student's question. Jesus, the guy may have a big dick, but he also is a big dick. Dick?
Maybe you're just lucky.
Okay, movie, hold the f***ing phone. You can't spend all movie up to now trying to convince me that she's nervous, shy, reluctant, and awkward, and then have her turn into Rihanna and toss this sassy, confident barb back at him after the first goddamn question he answers.
Are you gay?
Anastasia sees the question on the paper and actually goes through with asking this.
Mr. Grey, your next meeting is in the conference room.
It's literally been 4 minutes since he said,
As I said, I only have 10 minutes. I would like to know more about you.
Christian has the same weird attraction to Anastasia that Edward does to Bella in Twilight. Wait, this story came out of Twilight fanfiction? Holy shit. That's like recycling all the on-screen action of 2 girls in 1 cup.
Tell me, was it Charlotte Bronte, Jane Austen, or Thomas Hardy who first made you fall in love with literature?
It can only be one of these 3 authors. You tell that dickhead Nathaniel Hawthorne he will never get a 50 Shades of Grey reference, as long as he keeps shoving that Scarlet Letter nonsense in our faces.
Anastasia.
Christian?
Well, I'm glad they could reaffirm their names to each other. Whenever I get writer's block, I go back and study James Cameron's Titanic. Always breaks me out of it. Getting what? Kate is clearly in the Images tab of a discount Google and types Christian Grey News into the search field, and the results miraculously give her news despite this fact. Also, it goes straight to some random article rather than giving her search results. Also, this guy could not be more displeased to be fake meeting Christian Grey for this made-up movie photo. I guess Kate went to the news for 2 seconds and then hit the back button so that Anastasia could dramatically look at Christian's smoldering not Google photos. Apple wanted their MacBook Air product placement to feel perfectly natural, except for the obviously generic search engine being used, which almost acts as a subconscious product placement for Google, actually. So, in your face, Apple. Movie goes full unsubtle with the sexual metaphors, but suggests Christian Grey's penis has major issues with width. I'm totally in love with her, but have no chance face.
Bob broke his foot playing golf of all things. It means, though, we won't be able to fly in for graduation.
What a bunch of nonsense. First off, breaking your foot playing golf. Second off, her new husband breaks his foot and she can't go to her own daughter's graduation for it? I'd understand if this mom was an unloving, estranged kind of mother, but this is weak sauce. Hey, it's that actress I always think is Meryl Streep's daughter, but it's actually Rosemary Harris's daughter. So, oh man, they dragged that actress I think is Meryl Streep's daughter into this, didn't they? So she works at a hardware store where Christian can just so happen to buy items not intended for bondage. I wonder how this scene would have played out if Anastasia worked at the Gap.
Are you free?
He said to the person obviously working a shift at this retail establishment.
Maybe coveralls, so you protect your clothes?
Could just take all my clothes off.
What a whore.
He asked me to go for coffee afterwards.
That must have been a really amazing moment for you that this movie decided not to show for some reason.
I'm used to getting my own way.
That must get very boring.
It sounds like the script gets its own way too. They should have called this girl Anastasia Steele.
I don't do the girlfriend thing.
What is that even?
Watch it!
Premium Rush nearly causes an accident and provides 50 Shades of Grey with 100 minutes more material it wouldn't have had otherwise. You're on my list, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
All right, pencils down.
Professor narrates exactly how all the men in the audience are feeling right now. No one will be seated during the Anastasia has to pee scene.
Anastasia, have you been drinking?
Christian chastises Anastasia for drinking, despite the fact that she doesn't know that rule yet. And they're not in a relationship anyway. And why should he even give a half a f***? Movie that promised me kinky sex has gone over 23 minutes without offering up any kinky sex.
Stay where you are, I'm coming to get you.
Dude who just made a big deal asking her to tell him where she was suddenly realizes he's best friends with the screenwriter and can easily find out where she is by just asking that dude.
I don't know when I'll have the courage to do this.
I don't know either, but I'm guessing after it's too late because she already loves a Dom, aka now?
One kiss.
No, Jose.
Jose straight up has no idea what no means.
Dude,
She said no.
You did not hear her, though obviously you're right that she did say no. But still, overly aggressive rescue male is overly aggressive. Also, Jose's a one-note I'm in love with Anastasia, and that's my whole reason for existence character. I'm surprised Anna didn't say, no way, Jose. That old cliche would have been perfect for this movie. This asshole can f any girl he wants, but somehow is so fixated on this one socially awkward puking college girl that he's willing to basically be her butler nanny. Also, normal girl inexplicably attracted to creepy guy who is way over the top about stalking and trying to protect her. I realize this movie's author started out as a Twilight fan fiction author, but damn. The only way this could be more Twilight is if he was literally also a vampire. She's just gonna swallow those pills and that liquid as though they're 100% what they appear to be. Even if they are, that's still stupid as f***. Taylor Lautner came this close to winning this role on the strength of his audition for this scene alone.
If you were mine, you wouldn't be able to sit down for a week.
From spanking or f***ing? Or just basic orders following? I am so confused by this guy's boner. Oh man, they dragged Toast into this, didn't they? Wow, even the Bella lip bite is lifted from Twilight. Does this movie have one single f***ing thing to offer me that is original? Besides the kinky sex, which incidentally still hasn't shown up at the 30-minute mark?
Taylor has good taste.
You mean this Taylor? That's incorrect. Christian refers to Anastasia as paperwork.
He must be Elliot.
And we must be going.
Why can't Christian's brother finish the sex he started with Kate in the bedroom? Why does he have to leave? Is Christian some sort of sexual EMP? Later, Christian says they have work to do, but come on, what a bunch of nonsense. This helicopter ride from Portland to Seattle is brought to you by Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding. Also, remember the movie Singles? That was a pretty good Pacific Northwest movie. Sleepless in Seattle was decent. Ever since, we've had stuff like Mad Love and Twilight and this bullshit. Come on, Seattle. Inspire better, damn it. Anastasia hurriedly signs the shady NDA without inspecting it, like it's the f***ing iTunes Terms of Service agreement.
Are you gonna make love to me now?
Almost 37 minutes and still no kinky sex. Movie is a f***ing liar and a tease. And now if kinky sex happens, I'm going to be too angry about the lack of kinky sex to be excited about it.
My playroom.
Like your Xbox and stuff?
Funny line, but the movie is telling us she really is this naive, which is total bullshit at her age. And the fact that she's an English lit major who's probably run across adult themes in her life. Saw franchise-based sex room. Also, Christian decides the best way to prepare women for his sex dungeon is to simply spring it on them, without the slightest bit of preparation. Also, she still doesn't leave after this, because inside every college girl, apparently, is the desire to be dominated and f***ed by a man with more money than you.
It's called a flogger.
Hey, I'm f***ing awesome at Frogger. Wait.
It's called a flogger.
Because at this very moment, I bet all you're concerned about is what the proper name of everything is.
You're a sadist?
I'm a dominant.
Skip!
You want me to move in?
Not full time. Just Friday through to Sunday.
BDSM isn't open during business hours.
You're still a virgin? You're biting your lip.
Christian Grey would be excellent at CinemaSinning the Twilight movies.
What are you doing?
Rectifying the situation.
Man who is only turned on by doing dominant submissive shit in the bedroom is able to do it the vanilla way in a pinch simply because he's making an investment in BDSM futures. Kinky Sex movie waits nearly 43 minutes to commence with the kinky sex, just in case you don't want to waste your time on the first 43 minutes like I did. 2 full minutes of disrobing. So it's at this point I wonder, did Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson, watch this movie with their daughters simulating sex acts throughout? That's gotta be the weirdest premiere ever, right? Not that Melanie Griffith was ever shy either, but damn, that's her daughter up there. Of course, she's a movie virgin, so this is the best sex ever had by a virgin in the history of first times. It's not painful and she has 15 G-spots. Don't you hate it when a guy takes your virginity and then decides to play the piano while you're fast asleep?
Let's get you cleaned up.
I'm gonna do it with my tongue. Hope that's not too weird. Movie decides that an audience of mostly women can't handle seeing some dude's junk. This movie is rated R, right? Why does a dick sighting make a movie worse for anyone who might run across it? Even if kids manage to sneak into this movie, does seeing a penis scar them more than the boobs and the butts? Not to mention the overall poor quality of this movie. And this is the exact moment Don Johnson called Best Buy to order a new television set.
You trust me?
Why would she trust you? Now that you've had sex twice, you're sure to be ready for this. Is his tongue longer than we think it is? Mom shows up out of nowhere without a phone call because I'm almost certain they just wanted to introduce the mom character and break up the only fun you might be having with this movie. Also, they dragged Marcia Gay Harden into this, didn't they? She won an Oscar, you know? I mean, winning an Oscar should automatically disqualify you for being in a movie like this.
It's okay. Take it. I was just showing Mother out.
Seriously, how bad is that assistant Taylor at his job that he couldn't have just told Christian's mom that he was out and unavailable? She basically came into cockblock and now she's being walked out after a minute of screen time.
If you agree to do this, you're gonna want your own room.
Why? 'Cause I'll be your sex slave?
I don't want to do this here. Let's talk downstairs.
Because downstairs, this conversation becomes different somehow. Movie's woman symbolizes all the men watching this movie, while the man symbolizes the women.
Email me if you have any questions.
I told you my computer's down.
Needless minor plot complication is needless, but mainly so Christian can mysteriously hire a guy to come by and set up a new computer to show how much he loves her.
You look different. I feel different.
All girls can tell when other girls have had their first sex cliche. I guess we'll never get rid of these characters in romantic movies. The friend who's mainly there to encourage the protagonist to get laid character. Who the hell is Kate? She's entirely defined by how much she wants her friend to have sex and smile at her when she finally does. I still haven't figured out that you're the most naive person in the world, so the kind of research you need to do on this computer should be totally implied. Movie characters will now send a series of texts and IMs to each other on screen, because clearly the actors revolted when asked to repeat too many words from this script.
The following are the terms of a binding contract between the dominant and the submissive.
Contract narration.
Will be consensual, confidential.
Previously on 50 Shades of Grey. Jesus, she's just now asking this question? Damn, this fake Google has 3 different tab link bars to choose from. This is the most desperate Google competitor ever. Somehow Christian is able to get inside Anastasia's room despite the fact that he's a vampire and he's never been invited in. Christian takes a page from 9.5 Weeks, which still might be more boring than this movie. This guy manages to tear the wrapper off a condom, put it on, and be inside her in like 2 seconds, breaking all known world records for condom use.
That was really nice.
It was? Well, I guess we'll have to take your word for it.
I haven't made up my mind yet.
Pressuring a girl into signing an NDA bondage sex contract. One day a whole movie is going to just be texting and messaging. 2 characters will have sex on screen and be texting their moans to each other. It'll be like the silent era all over again, only more technology and nudity.
Impressive.
It is? This is the darkest business meeting I've ever been in, and there isn't even any donuts or coffee around. How does Christian negotiate deals this way? If they can't see me, maybe they won't know how much I'm screwing them.
Find anal fisting.
I'm all ears.
Strike it out.
This is probably how the whole movie should have been, with everyone realizing how stupid the story is and not taking it so seriously. Really, it just serves to show what could have been, and therefore is a sin.
What are butt plugs?
Yes, that's a funny question, but you have that fake Google, right? How did you not just fake Google what butt plugs are and figure it out on your own?
I would help you out of that little dress of yours. And I'd be pleased to discover that you are naked underneath.
Christian describes what the literal pleasure of taking someone's clothes off is. This isn't sexy talk, it's just facts.
You got your valedictory speech ready? No.
Her friend Kate is the valedictorian of this school? How badly did everyone else f*** up if Kate is the valedictorian? By the way, didn't Anastasia say she had a 4.0 GPA? How does she have that GPA and not at least be co-valedictorian?
Kate, best valedictorian speech ever.
Go.
There are so many words in that sentence that don't make sense to me. I think it was during the filming of this scene that these 2 actors realized how much damage they'd done to their careers by appearing in this movie.
What are you doing?
I have a few things at the office that require my attention.
It's so you can sit here alone and dramatically reflect on whether you want to be in this kind of relationship or not. It's as good a reason as any other to get me out of here for now.
Sorry I missed your graduation, honey. I heard it was lovely.
Bob broke his finger reading a book of all things. We really think he has that Samuel L. Jackson and Unbreakable disease.
I want to take you to my playroom.
But I haven't signed the contract.
They've been talking about paperwork for an hour, and the movie is 30 minutes away from being finished. At what point, as the dominant, do you say, well, shit, I don't even need to spank her or love her? Or, f*** this, she's not into it, time to search Craigslist. That's right, his hand went down into her crotch area. What are you going to do about it, American Midwest? Movie goes full Passion of the Christ, which my penis was not prepared for.
Where are we going?
Wait a minute, they just had sex, he put her in a bed, she woke up, and it's nighttime? And it's time to go to his mom's house? What the f*** just happened?
Remember my mother mentioned dinner?
Seems like it was months ago, but I assure you all this that happened from the time she mentioned it to now has only been a week.
Hey, Dad, you catch the Mariners game?
After all, we do live in Seattle, and we'd like to remind the audience of that.
Mine. All mine. You understand?
She hasn't even signed the goddamn contract yet, asshole.
What do you want?
I want you.
So that about covers the extent of this discussion, doesn't it?
If you just signed the contract, you wouldn't.
Skip.
The woman that gave birth to me was a crack addict and a prostitute.
Bottled up character finally opens up, but only when the other person is asleep cliche. Jesus, her mom didn't even pick her up at the airport? That is the worst loving mom ever. Damn, Christian's gotten her a new car and a new computer, but she's still using this phone from the dark ages? More exciting texting.
I came to see you.
And no one in this movie is gonna think that's creepy. Sure, you're rich, but this is like the 4th time you've shown up unannounced wherever Anastasia was. Stalking is a crime, man, even if you have had sex with the person you're stalking.
I broke Rule 7, Clause 5.
We'll let it go.
This would be a really good time to remind you and the audience that you haven't signed the contract yet, which is something you guys love to argue about a lot. So nobody's broken any rules here, and nobody has the power to let it go, so f off.
Let's not talk about the contract right now.
But talking about not signing the contract is the only thing that keeps you together.
Well, what did she advise you to do?
Well, I'm here.
Seeing Christian with his dominant would have actually been really interesting, but this movie avoids interesting like it's the clap. Movie wastes even more time with a sexy flying scene. I think this movie could have been finished in 30 seconds. Anastasia? Christian? Do you want me to f you and whip you? No. The end. So, besides his wealth and the crazy activities and gifts he buys for her with said wealth, is there anything she sees in him? There's certainly no chemistry between them. Why does she even want to be this dude's girlfriend?
This more?
Oh my god, so much more!
So, is this enough to hurt you for my pleasure now? Who parked Christian's car here? Remember when they got to the airfield? Well, I sure as do, because I was paying attention very closely. Why don't you stop trying to make me believe for 1 second this car was ever parked right next to the hangar, you dumb shits.
What are you afraid of?
It's amazing how many times someone gets a phone call or has to go do something when they have this conversation. It's almost like the movie itself knows how stupid it is, and how inevitable the outcome is that it keeps buying time to be long enough for a movie. Director and the prop master had a dispute over what constitutes too much rope. I'm no kinky sex expert, but does a delicate peacock feather have any business in the pain chamber? It's probably fine. I just wanted an excuse to say peacock, because it doesn't happen very often and it has the word cock in it. Hey, remember that movie Secretary that came out a while back? I think I'm gonna go watch that movie instead. Let's stop and recap all the beats in this movie that feel like Twilight. Earl in the Pacific Northwest goes somewhere new and meets mysterious rich man for weird encounter. Then he stalks her, but she thinks that's cool. But he has a dark secret world she can sense but not fully gain access to. He roughs up a guy coming on too strong, they walk in the woods. She has her remarried mother far away to have stupid phone chats with from time to time about life and love. Said distant mom says come see me to escape your love life for a bit, and she goes. And 2 nighttime him playing the piano scenes. Damn, I know you love Twilight, but did you have to copy all of it?
Why won't you let me in? We should be talking.
Is there really anything to talk about at this point?
Fuck contract.
This is exactly what the screenwriter should have said about an hour ago. Not only about the contract in the movie, but the contract to write this script.
Why do you want to punish me? Why do you want to hurt me?
You're just now asking these questions?
Why do you need to?
Because it's the way I am!
I don't know what's so hard about saying, when I hurt people, I achieve orgasms. I also don't see how Anastasia doesn't know this. Also, millions around the world getting off to this story of abuse. Blatant emotional and physical abuse. Most of it in a cultish sexual setting. There's like only 1 or 2 shades of gray separating this guy from Buffalo Bill. It goes this guy, Billy Zane in Titanic, Marky Mark from Fear, then Buffalo Bill.
Because I'm 50 Shades of fucked up.
Punish me. I want you to show me the worst. It's the only way I can understand.
But you crossed out the anal fisting. I kind of regret asking for the worst face.
This is what you want?
I mean, goddamn, yes. How much research did you do on this? How did you have a 4.0 GPA and not have the least bit of curiosity when it comes to your boyfriend's fetish, which is readily available to know in an intimate way on the internet? How can you be this freaking stupid?
Don't you dare come near me.
Ah, okay, so she's figured it out. She knows what a monster he is. So why are there at least 2 more movies coming? Well, damn, that argument nearly killed my orgasm. Nearly. She f***ing stayed there in his apartment?
You'll never do that to me again.
But that stuff with the peacock feather, I think I'm still gonna be okay with that
I've fallen in love with you.
Before or after the violent spank beating? I see it started raining just in time for the mood to be set perfectly. I know it's Seattle, but this is some damn convenient rain right here.
Hannah.
Christian.
I'm glad they could get that straight at the end of the movie.
So we just slept then?
Contract. Just do it, and she'll address him. I don't do the girlfriend thing. I don't do romance. I don't make love. I told you I don't sleep with anyone. It's the way I am. That's not really my thing. I don't want to do this here. Never slept next to anyone. I told you. I don't sleep with anyone.
You're not fighting fair.
I never have. That's not something I know.
You said you didn't do romance.
I don't.
Because it's the way I am!
What? I thought we were in the trust tree in the nest. Are we not?
We are.
Okay.
We are. It's okay. We are. It's okay. It's okay. Please, continue.
Actually, Jeremy, you're totally right about the cult thing. Cults follow an 8-step process to indoctrinate new recruits, and Christian Grey throughout the movie follows the exact same steps. It's all about psychological manipulation. And if you want to check out the real dark side of 50 Shades, click right here. I have a film theory all about it. Have a look, if you dare. 50 Shades of effed up, indeed.
You can see she's a beautiful girl, and everything.
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my God. It even has a watermark.
Goodbye, Mr. Gray.
Finishing,
sharps at turning your idea of a fitted bedroom upside down, creating rooms to live in and to sleep in, all individually designed, all beautifully installed.
Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, 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 Doug. But if he's been murdered by crystal meth tweakers, well then we're shit out of luck.